Hello everyone, welcome to the universe, welcome to the My Hero Academia Season 5 review. I'm John Kearns, joined today by Tim Farley, Brianna Rose, Bethany Nash, and Michaela Nash. And happy holidays, everyone!
Yay!
Yay! It's Christmas. Happy festive.
Apparently, yes.
So, we'll jump right into the recap of this episode.
The episode was titled Have a Merry Christmas.
Thanks, John. I was going to say that.
Were you?
Yeah. Yes, I was.
We were all doubting.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, even though I'm a semi-professional. Anyway, in Deca City, cracks from unknown sources start spreading and destroying the area. Not long after, the city collapses into ruin and is engulfed in dust. In the center of the city stands Tomura Shigaraki, who is bruised, bloodied, and whose hair has now changed from light blue to a ghostly white.
Yes.
Tomura simply smiles and maniacally laughs. Sometime later, Katsuki and Shoto are being interviewed in their dorms after their takedown of the group of villains. The reporter asks if they get along, leading Shoto to mention their friends, and causing Katsuki to erupt in annoyance as he argues with everything he says. Nearing the end of December, Class 1A react to Shoto and Katsuki's interviews, with Hanta and Denki laughing at Katsuki getting completely removed from it, to his further irritation. At the same time, Izuku is watching a news broadcast which mentions the tragedy in Deca City that occurred 9 days ago. They talk about how just 20 people drove the city to destruction in about 50 minutes, and believing this is a ploy on the villains to lower the public's trust in heroes. Tenya comments how the destruction was seemingly worse than Kamino, however, with fewer casualties. The broadcast proceeds to interview several civilians who comment on giving the heroes some slack and wanting them to do their best. Their hero critic, Aorio Kuroshishu, discusses how in the past an incident like this would result in all the heroes being blamed, but now they're at a point in time when criticism is turning into encouragement. Ochako and Mina mention how this is thanks to the Look-See boy who helped people to encourage Endeavor, who's been working hard. Midnight and Mount Lady enter the room, declaring to the students that while heroes have always been about showbiz, now people want to see heroes in the real sense of the world. Eraserhead appears to tell the students since they've been getting more exposure, they've asked the two to talk to them about the process. After Minoru points out how Mount Lady is the most showbiz of them all here, she tells them she will inform them how a hero should behave, to Eijiro's excitement. The class is revealed to be hero interview training, allowing the students to practice presenting themselves in front of the media. Shoto starts off as Mount Lady asks him questions to his slight confusion. He tells her he wants to be a hero that can make everyone feel safe, and then misunderstanding when she says that answer made her heart race. He proceeds to show off his super move, Heaven-Piercing Ice Wall, as well as mentioning his Flash Freeze Heat Wave. The other classmates bring up Endeavor's Flash Fire Fist, move he used in the battle against 1B. However, he mentioned he's not on Endeavor's level yet. Mount Lady concludes saying he should try to smile and that he'll slay the ladies with it, which he once again misunderstands. As some of the students question showing off their moves, Mount Lady explains how since not everyone knows who they are, their ultimate moves are an expression of themselves and lets people know what you can do. She continues that these are all important in team-ups, warning villains, and helping others feel safe. Mineta is surprised by her change in attitude as Aizawa notes that all the heroes have started making moves to improve themselves, thanks to Endeavor's presence as the new #1 hero. Mount Lady continues through each of the students as Tenya, Momo, Ochako, Fumikage, Ijiro, Mina, Denki, and more all introduce themselves to her delight. Katsuki then takes his turn, leading Mount Lady to comment that he's not as bad an interview by himself and just doesn't gel well with the rest of humanity. Shoto apologizes for getting in the way in the previous interviews, resulting in him arguing again. Midnight suggests to Aizawa that Katsuki should just avoid the media like him, but Aizawa believes he should learn from someone else. Izuku takes the stage and is completely anxious and unable to answer properly. Izuro comments that he's hardened, like his quirk, and Tsuyu mentions how nervous he is in these situations. Mount Lady brings up how most of his moves are based on All Might, breaking him out of his trance and starting to endlessly mutter over how his moves were inspired by him. Midnight asks about his quirk going out of control the other day, wondering if he's made any progress. Izuku proceeds to think about how, in the past 2 weeks since Black Whip emerged, he's been practicing visualizing it every day and imagines a locked door through which the quirk is behind. Just like how he was able to master the percentages of One for All, he prepares to re-emerge Black Whip, to everyone's anticipation, only for a tiny wisp of the Black Whip to appear. While Izuku is happy about this development, everyone else is completely dumbfounded. Meanwhile, Nezu goes to visit All Might, who has been hard at work creating a notebook containing information on the quirks of the past wielders of One for All. Nezu then informs All Might that they will be restarting the hero work study soon, to his surprise. The UA staff discussed the sudden decision from the Hero Public Safety Commission to start up the work studies again, requesting all the Hero Course students to get more training. Midnight suggests that this is their way of informing them that they are shorthanded, even when they are saturated with heroes. Ectoplasm believes it has something to do with what happened in Deca City, with Snipe adding that the League of Villains must be involved too. Nezu tells them that since they are being so vague, they must have learned something they are trying to keep secret. He tells the teachers that it is important for heroes to prepare for anything and to inform their students before turning to Eraserhead to mention the Commission's other program. By the end of the month, Nezu calls All Might, who is busy researching with Naomasa, to tell him that after the 4 months since the dormitory system has been installed, there has been no suspicious activity, meaning none of the students are probably spies for the League of Villains, to All Might's belief. Nezu then asks if he will be coming back this day, leading him to ask if anything happened to Izuku, as Nezu reminds him what day it is. All of Class 1A celebrate Christmas with a giant feast in their dorm common room. When the topic of the work studies comes up, Kyoka asks Ochako and Tsuyu if they will be returning to Ryukyu's agency, which they say yes. Tenya asks Izuku if he will be going back to the Night Eye agency, with Izuro commenting how Centipeter has taken over. However, Izuku tells them he can't due to how much work they have to do, so they don't have time to take on anyone. He adds that since Gran Torino is busy too, he's stuck in limbo, so we'll have to wait to be assigned by someone since the work study is mandatory. Izuro asks Katsuki if he will be going back to Best Genus. However, he remembers reading about him supposedly going missing. He just says he hasn't decided yet. He then thinks back to his time during the internship, when Best Genus questioned his lack of a hero name, with Katsuki barking back that they were all rejected. After calling them all childish, he tells him that a hero name demonstrates how you want to be or how you should be, and that once he gets his provisional license, he wants to see him again and tell him his name. Izuro brings up how thanks to all the offers from the sports festival, he could go with anyone, but Katsuki isn't interested in learning from any of them. Mineta complains for them all talking about school stuff, and Rikido arrives with more food. Eraserhead soon enters, accompanied by Eri in a Santa outfit, to the classmates' delight. She proceeds to get several of the holiday customs mixed up. He informs them that Mirio is with his club and tells Eri to go have fun as she goes with the girls. Izuku notices how her horn has gotten bigger, with Eraserhead telling him she's taken what he told her to heart, to his happiness. Class 1A plus Eri proceed to enjoy the feast and have fun. They end up with a gift exchange, putting their presents in a pile, and each choosing one at random. Izuku gets Ochako's gift of sticky cut mocha, and she gets his gift of an All Might keychain. Ooh. Eri gets Fumikage's Buster Sword. And Izuku then thinks about how, even though their future is uncertain, he hopes they all can have this much fun next Christmas. Later that night, as the students are cleaning up, Shoto approaches Izuku and Katsuki, asking them if they'd like to accompany him for their work study with Endeavor. In the preview, we get to see that that does happen. Katsuki and Midoriya go with Shoto. We got a clear picture of Dobby in a hood and on a cell phone. We saw at the end, we saw some type of I'm going to say villain wizard in the streets. From that, I don't remember anything else. So, Michaela, what did you think about this episode?
I really love this episode. Honestly, Nezu has to be one of my favorite secondary characters, and seeing Nezu in Aizawa's scarf to stay warm, I paused it and I freaked out. I was like, that is the cutest thing I've ever seen.
I love how he said, "You have a chair, don't you?"
It's like,
to keep warm.
I need to keep warm. I love Nezu, but honestly, watching Baku when Deku was talking about his quirk and watching the concern Bakugo had for him was actually interesting, because he's like, okay, is this gonna work? Is it not gonna work? What's gonna happen? And when Deku actually nothing, don't get excited.
Go back. Say that again. You froze.
Of course I did. When Deku made Black Whip appear, it was like a little spurt, and he was so excited. But Bakugo was like, "Don't get excited. That's nothing. Don't be excited about anything." And I think Bakugo really took what Best Jeanist said to heart, and him being missing is actually taking effect on him more than he's willing to actually say it is.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Because even in that from the flashback, you saw him just reminisce about.
Yeah, I think
he was hot.
And
is he missing from since the one thing with All For One, or is this something different? Am I missed?
I don't know if that's when he's missing from, because I thought we got another update that said he was getting better.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I thought he died.
I know we got the update that he was alive.
Maybe they just mean he's not back to work yet.
That's what I was
missing in action.
I couldn't remember.
Or missing from action.
Yeah.
But watching Eri in her cute little Santa costume,
I love she comes in and says, "Trick or treat."
Trick or treat. I love. She's so cute.
No,
and she gives out Easter eggs.
No.
Yeah.
She did the demon out, demon in thing. I think that is part of Shintoism.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's something in February or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they said
that's not for a few months. That's not for...
Yeah.
And then she had little Easter eggs.
I know. It was so cute. But
it was so funny.
As they're saying that there's not a spy within the kids was very interesting. Because that means that there's still talk about being within the teachers. But I honestly think that they're just overlooking the students, because I feel in my soul that Monoma has to be working for the League of Villains.
Because how does he know all that information?
Yeah.
Exactly.
How did he know that Bakugo got taken?
Exactly.
Well, I mean, it was on the news.
That's true, but then there's the question of how did they know? Was it ever told how they knew that they were training in that camp with the Wild Wild Pussycats?
They were there.
No. 1B was there.
Yes.
Was there.
It was a 1A, 1B.
He was the only one who failed, and he couldn't do it. He had to stay in that room.
Mm-hmm.
More that he could be.
Oh, shit!
Exactly. Exactly.
It's building up. And I don't think
I forgot that
it
happened.
was the detective that asked if Nezu thought that there was a student villain amongst the students. He's just like, if something were to happen, it might. And then All Might's like, there's all of those kids have the heart of a hero.
Not
And
mine.
Nezu's just like, okay.
I mean, 1A, yes. But they're always
Yes.
in the middle of all this shit, so they're probably asking because why are they always in the middle? But maybe
Yeah.
he's paying attention to 1A and he's giving any information because he knows Shigaraki wants Midoriya.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because I think Shigaraki knows that Midoriya has One for All.
Oh,
Yeah.
Because of All for One.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And because
He
of that
definitely knows.
meeting in the mall,
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
he's been targeting Zuko for a while.
Yeah,
That's
'cause his-
still like one of the most stressful situations in the show's history.
Yes.
That shit in the mall. It's so crazy.
I
Yeah.
agree.
And I also loved how when Mount Lady and Midnight came into the classroom, Mineta just started freaking out. I was like, Mineta,
All the
calm
boys did.
down.
All the boys did.
I know. They're like,
It's
hey.
like-
I was more concerned that
Kaminari, all of the hate and shit gets put on Mineta, but Kaminari is just as perverted
Yes.
as Mineta is.
Mineta just doesn't care.
yeah.
Yeah, but then he started to. And he was like, why is she here? She's the most showbiz of them all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, what is her point? Like,
And then-
yeah, he's going to look at her boobs and butt, but he's like, he knows that,
But
like,
he's thinking of he's thinking
Yeah.
of both brains.
And then Aizawa says something about all the heroes are being pulled by the number one hero.
Yeah.
Like,
Which-
they're all better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, you get Sleeping Bag Aizawa in this episode.
Sleeping bag
He
suit
had
out.
one of those sleeping bag suits
Yes.
that we've
Right.
said are perfect for him.
Yes.
Every time I see him, I'm like, Aizawa needs one. And then he fucking did he get that for Christmas?
I'm thinking, yeah.
Had to.
Who
One
gave
A
it to him?
probably got it for him and left it in his office.
Either 1A or All Might or possibly Miss Joke.
This joke.
Miss
Bethany,
Joe.
what stood out to you in this episode?
Okay, there's a lot of personal growth on my behalf because one of the things that stood out most was Endeavor. I don't really like Endeavor for personal reasons, but I have come a long way. So I really liked
She
how
bought an
when
Endeavor Funko Pop, guys.
She
I did. He matches the little Shoto I have. But so I really liked how when they were talking about how all of the pros are like more focused on like the press because they're being pulled by the number one. I don't think they meant that in like a bad way. I
No.
kind of feel like after the fight with the Nomu
No.
that Endeavor had,
The advanced-
he kind of took on All Might's role as the symbol of hope, like everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
So now you went from a state of like everyone trying to figure out who was going to be the number one, who was going to be the new symbol, to having that fight with the Nomu and Endeavor taking that, especially with the Look-See boy, who was just like, he's the one out there risking his life. He's the one protecting us. I kind of feel like all of the other heroes now are going back to the way they were before when we had All Might in his prime. They're
Yeah.
just trying to get their name out there, showing that they can do exactly what All Might and what All Might and Endeavor are doing. So like they're just trying to make sure that they have a name out there too.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
think
why they're more focused on the press.
it goes to say that when All Might stepped down, everyone was very weary of Endeavor as the number one. And as soon as he had that fight, everybody else looked at him and was like, okay, if he could fill the void that we thought he couldn't, we need to fill the voids that we think we can't.
They kind of looked at Endeavor the same way that 1B looked at Bakugo after that joint training battle that they had.
And that's why I think him going to work with Endeavor is going
It's
to be
going to be really
beneficial
good. It's going to be really good for him.
Bakugo, because Bakugo is that hot-headed, I can do it myself, I don't need anybody, I can get there myself attitude, and that's how Endeavor started out in the
That's
beginning of
why-
the series. And you see Endeavor grow to be who he is.
Yeah.
After the conversation with All Might, he totally changed.
Endeavor needs to.
If anyone's going to understand Bakugo,
It's
it's going to
Yes.
And he needs to explain how beneficial to the fight with the Nomu Hawks was.
Yes.
Yes.
So that maybe Bakugo can see that getting help from others is good. He already has a little bit with how much he was willing to have Jiro help him with her quirk in that battle.
I feel like it's gonna be really good.
Well,
Yeah.
we're not getting it next week. I'm sorry.
I know.
How long is the break, John?
I haven't seen how long the break is. I've seen rumblings that imply that the break could only be this week. I kind of hope that's true because I'm ready for Bakugo and Deku at Endeavor's agency, and I'm ready for the new OP.
Well,
Yes.
I don't know if you guys know this, but Brianna found it the other day. There are 2 OVAs on Funimation. So next week, we could watch those and talk about those if you want.
Yeah, we can do that, I guess. But yeah, I've seen those multiple times.
I had no idea they existed.
Yeah, I didn't have Funimation before. I was watching it on Hulu originally,
Yeah.
and then I got Funimation to watch something else, and I was rewatching it, and I saw, oh, what are these 2 OVAs at the end of the episode?
Yeah, they're at the end of season 4.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. It's another training thing.
Yeah, I watched them when I was rewatching with my mom.
Okay, but yeah, I liked it. I mean, it showed more of like,
or we could just take the week
Bakugo.
off, whatever. I don't
well, yeah, but it's. I feel like it shows a lot of like the class dynamic, and especially with Bakugo, Katsuki, Bakugo, and Shota Todoroki and Izuku Midoriya. Like it kind of highlights their relationship. I think the OVA. So I think that would make sense too if we watched it because we get a little more insight into it. But we don't have to. But anyway,
I'm down for that.
I'm down.
The
Aside
other
from
thing,
Kayla and Bethany have talked about so far, what else was of note to you?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes, your name's
Okay.
John.
I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you say John. You cut out. I'm sorry. So other than what Kayla and Beth had talked about, I will talk a little bit more about what the hell was going on with Shigaraki.
Mhm.
Where did he come from? Because
Rubble.
there was like, did he come from the rubble, or was there like,
He emerged from it.
He did.
um,
And Shigaraki
really
has that
digging
destructive
Shigaraki's
force,
new
too.
look? Really digging Shigaraki's new look.
Mhm.
I love
Like,
the
did-
ghostly white hair. Say that again.
I didn't see his hand.
Yeah,
I
his
didn't
hand
see-
was.
I didn't see him
I
carrying
think
it. I like.
It looked a little bit like he was nude.
A little
Yeah.
bit, yeah.
I thought he had pants on, but I could be wrong.
They didn't show that.
He,
They only showed his torso.
he definitely
Yeah.
was nude from the waist up, at least. So
Interesting.
the hands are
Was-
part of his clothes.
Where'd he come from?
I want to take a second while you're talking about his new look.
Yeah.
I always thought, and I thought even more so today, that the guy from the commission who like ran all of the provisional
Yeah.
things and all
Yeah.
Guy.
Yeah.
that dude
Sleepy
and
boy.
Shigaraki look like
They look
twins.
so much alike.
Yes.
Hmm.
I
Come on,
the
Kat.
very first time I saw him, I asked John if it was Shigaraki. I said, what is he doing leading the training?
He's
Right.
far more tired than Shigaraki. Well,
Yes.
So when it first happened, I kind of freaked out a little bit because I didn't realize it was Shigaraki right away. But with the ghostly white hair, I thought it was I thought it was All for One's little brother.
Oh.
And I was like, but then I saw the big smile and heard the laugh, and I was like, oh, it's Shigaraki. Oh,
Well,
Shigaraki.
I was like, is that Shigaraki or someone else? And Tim didn't. At first, you didn't think it was Shigaraki, and
Well,
then
no, because of the hair.
so we were like, oh, so it definitely was Shigaraki.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, Shigaraki? And then I was like, I didn't see the hand, and I was like, no, that's not Shigaraki. And I was like, oh, no, wait, that is Shigaraki.
Yeah, he's got the big smile, the red
Yeah.
eyes. Yeah.
I wonder why his hair is lighter, and it looks longer, too.
Mm-hmm.
Something happened to Shigaraki.
He went through a hard time, I guess.
Did he eat one for
That
all?
motherfucker lives hard times. What else? Okay, so the Christmas party. Everybody had like character specific pom poms on their Santa hats. That was pretty funny and cute. Deku's looked like a little broccoli puff. The one that they kept trying to put on Bakugo was just orange. Minetta's was a grape ball. Momo's was a little book.
I liked the tape guys. His was like
His
thing
was a
of-
tape dispenser. His was a tape dispenser.
Froppy's was a frog, and it was so cute.
Froppy's was a little frog.
Jiro's
Uh,
is in-
Todoroki's had the half red, half white one. Ida's was like a tailpipe.
yeah, muffler.
I think Sugar Rush's was a cake.
I think so,
Or
yeah.
a cupcake.
I
or
liked when
something.
he walked in with the turkey, and they're just like, "He
Sugar
knows
Rush
how to
can
cook
make
regular
real food.
Yeah, real.
The whole
Um,
Christmas party thing was really cute and really a
was so
nice
cute.
a nice palate cleanser before we get into the dark, deep, dark shit that will come with the rest of season 5.
It's the calm before the storm.
Yeah.
It definitely is.
Not gonna lie, I was a little sad we didn't find out what class Shinso's gonna be in. We're pretty sure that it's gonna be 1A. Like, I
Gotta be
feel
why.
it hard, but like, I just need it confirmed.
But I think that's what Nezu was talking to Aizawa about.
Could be.
Because he said, let's talk about this, Aizawa, and then it cuts to the next scene, so we
Yeah.
don't know what they were talking about.
But he didn't get to come to the Christmas party.
Maybe
I
he
I guess
wants
he's
to-
not officially in the class. He was probably with the class that he's in now.
Yeah.
The what is it? What course is he in now?
I think he's support.
He's in general studies.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's in Gen Pop.
Nobody wants to be there.
Oh my.
Brianna,
Yes.
what do you have to add?
To add, I mean, I feel like we covered a lot of the things that I liked. I liked the conversation with, or like the memory Bakugo had of
Yeah.
best, just because you're getting to see a little bit more of his emotional side. Is like he doesn't say anything about it, but he's
Explosion Murder King.
yeah.
Yes.
King Explosion Motor. What else? Lord Explosion Murder.
Explosion murder.
What else? Explosion Murder.
Yeah, and it's like you're so immature, basically. That's what he said.
Shut it.
And then while he's combing his hair,
And
I
it keeps
mean,
trying to pop back up.
I can't believe that.
Agreed.
I really am excited about the next part because as soon as Shoto came up to them and asked, "Hey, do you guys want to like intern with me?"
Dude, Deku's face lit up.
I was like, "Oh my god, that'll be awesome!" And then the clip for the next one, you see it, and I'm like, "Yes, I'm so glad that
All
they're
right, so
doing
let's
that."
talk about that then. What are we looking forward to for next episode?
I want to
Yeah.
see
Back.
how Dobby's doing, and I want to. Well, John, hold on.
Okay.
Talk about some stuff before we get into that.
Oh, well,
You
okay.
threw it to everyone else. I'm sorry.
Yes, we were going in order,
We're in
John.
order. Oh yeah. Right. Okay. Well, I liked it. I'm excited.
I am going to mention something that nobody else has mentioned, but of course, You know, I commented during this whole time. I loved everything that you guys brought up. But when they were talking about the commission knowing something and not wanting everybody to know
Yeah, I forgot about that.
with the woman, and I was like, fuck yes. So obviously more things are happening there. And then in the preview we got Bobby and such, so we're going to be afforded more into that story. Now, John, speaking of what we're looking forward to from the preview, I'm just as excited as all of you guys about Endeavor with Bakugo and Midoriya, because there's going to be a lot of character growth and development for all four of those characters. But I was very intrigued by seeing Dobby in a hood messing around on his cell phone. I was very intrigued.
Yeah.
I like wizards and shit. That wizard at the end, like sprouting all those. I was like, I need to know who that is. But
Yeah.
as you were,
I am really excited to see Hawks because, like you said, we learned that the commission isn't telling like UA everything that they're doing,
So that
and we know that Hawks
that means
is like
Hawks has more
contracted.
intel.
Yeah, Hawks has more intel, so I think that's what like Dobby in the Hood is waiting for. I think he's waiting to meet up with Hawks.
That could be.
But like, I really want to know more about what's going on with Hawks, because in past episodes we find out that like he's commissioned by the commission, and he's trying to infiltrate the League of Villains. So he talked to Dobby about joining the League of Villains.
Yeah.
And I know
and he set up the fight.
like- it's like really iffy on like whether or not like he's a good person or not.
No, he is. He's only doing this because of the commission. They went into his backstory.
Yeah, some could argue that it's still a little wishy-washy.
I guess.
Because like we don't know, we just know his backstory. We don't know who he is as a person now or anything like that. So I'm excited to learn more about him.
We're focused on Midoriya, Bakugo, and Todoroki going to Endeavor, but we haven't talked about Tokiyami.
Seeing him go to
He's
Hawks.
going to be going to Hawks. So was Tokiyami going to be picking up what's actually happening? Because
And I feel
Tokiyami
like
is a wise dude.
He is.
He's not.
yes. And I feel like if Tokiyami catches something that Hawks is doing, the first person he's going to tell is Midoriya.
No, the first person he's going to tell is Nezu.
Oh.
Yeah.
Probably.
No, I feel like
No,
I think
he'd probably tell Midoriya first.
yeah.
Or
But
Todoroki.
I'm
He might tell Todoroki
Yeah.
first, because he opened up a lot to Todoroki in the past couple episodes.
yeah.
And like I feel like he'd tell them first because Hawks has been working like hand in hand with Endeavor, and he knows that obviously Todoroki was going back to Endeavor, but now Bakugo and Midoriya are with him, so they don't know
And
if
also-
Endeavor's compromised.
There's already how weird Hawks was with Tokiyami before.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah,
he wasn't just
That got
weird.
kind of smoothed over.
the first time, and then the second time he helped him a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's just like you need to get to know him better. He's just kind of like one of those people you don't know right away.
Right.
You can't
Exactly.
be
Yeah.
down.
He
And-
kind of gives off the same vibe Endeavor did at the beginning, like I'm only doing this like for me so I can be the best. And that's very much the vibe that Hawks gave off at first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like
Uh,
he couldn't even be bothered when he was given the number
Well,
2 title.
At first, yeah, but then they go into it
Prefers
a
it
little bit. It's not so much that as much as it is he doesn't really give a shit about how he's viewed by others.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about being number 2. He just cares about doing his thing and doing his job.
he doesn't want to
Yeah.
be one.
Also, speaking about the fight with the Nomu, setting that up with Dobby in the shadows on the phone probably set up the fight that's going to happen with that wizard type dude with Hawk. And Endeavor is going to have to show Todoroki, Midoriya, and Bakugo how to handle this type of situation. That's my theory on what we saw.
Good stuff.
I'm
guys.
excited for honestly just the whole episode. But they're really playing up, like, I know we have a theory that Dobby is Endeavor's eldest child.
It's not a theory.
Yeah, he has to be.
He has to be, because he even says,
For the anime watchers, but it is.
In the manga?
Yeah.
You know this?
Yeah.
Oh.
well, that makes sense. But, like, just the way Dobby is so consumed with Endeavor, that I think that this is going to affect him even more now that Shoto is working with Endeavor.
I just need to see a scene where they meet. Because Shoto, he's heard about what was his name? I only know him now. What is it?
Toya.
Toya. Okay, so he's heard about Toya, but he's never seen Toya
Right.
Oh, yeah.
because he was isolated right before Shoto was isolated.
I just don't understand how they don't recognize him because he dyed his hair black. Like,
Because his face is completely stitched up.
yeah,
They probably have never seen him because he
Endeavor-
looks substantially. I mean, Endeavor has, but he's probably
Well,
trying
Endeavor
to
probably
avoid-
knows exactly who it is, but won't say anything about it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
sure,
also,
Know him.
Endeavor easily could have told his other kids that he died.
Yeah.
So they don't know he's alive.
They
I mean,
probably
he-
also know what
he-
it looks like because he's substantially older than all of them.
Well, like Endeavor doesn't know that it's him because,
They
like,
talk.
he took a point. Dobby wanted to talk to Endeavor. He after the Nomu thing, he talked to Endeavor, and he was like, "Oh, I wanted to meet you," or something like that. And he never says anything like he knows who that is. He calls him Dobby, and
Yeah.
so he
His
doesn't.
face-
I think
They were reconstructed so much. Like, Endeavor must have damn near killed him or something.
Yeah.
Dobby gave up his identity to Endeavor as soon as he said Endeavor's real name.
He did say his real name.
Because
that-
that's probably not public knowledge, so you would have had to know him personally to know that.
And the look on Endeavor's face when he says it.
Maybe.
All right.
I can't wait
Yeah.
to see how that comes to light.
Yeah, but I liked this episode because it was a lot lighter. They just hinted at
I can't wait to
There was
see
a
how
lot-
Shoto reacts to that. When it
Yeah.
There's a
when it
lot of
eventually happens.
information. Yeah. There's a lot of information in this episode, but all in all, like, it was a good episode.
It
Yeah.
was really good.
Yeah, I loved the interviews, like Shoto's reactions. He's so serious and he's not getting any of the jokes. That was so
You're going
good.
to slay the woman. You mean
They'll
gonna kill
die?
them?
You mean if I smile, they'll die?
Heart would race. Do you have a heart
Do
condition?
you have a heart condition? And she's
And then
just
Mount
like,
Lady said, "He's cute. I want him. He's cute."
Yeah, she said I want him, and I was like,
we all do.
So that went over. So that went over all y'all's heads.
that kid is like,
That went over all y'all's heads. Then
How old is she?
what she meant was she wants him for her agency.
is that what she meant?
Oh, I didn't
Oh,
That's
either.
what I think she meant.
I don't know. Bethy was yelling, "Me too, sis. Me too." So I don't.
I bet
Yeah.
she fucking was.
I don't know.
I bet-
And then in Midoriya, I laughed out loud at that point.
I'm
I laughed out loud with Midoriya when he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna do that thing," and then like that little squirt comes out. What the hell? Because he was like so poised. He's like, "Yeah,
we
I'm gonna
haven't
do it."
we haven't
Like,
seen Midoriya cry in so long. Whenever I
I
saw
know.
Weary has taken what you said to heart, they went on his
His
face
face.
for like 40 seconds, and he was smiling. I'm
and
like,
he didn't
when's
cry.
it gonna happen?
I'm like, is he gonna cry?
Yeah.
He's a man now. Damn it.
I'm like, wow. Okay,
The one
Bethy
thing-
stopped crying.
The one thing that we didn't talk about was the news article towards the beginning of the episode when they're talking about like what had happened in the city and how it related to
Yeah.
what happened before. And even like the newscasters were saying, I really hope that these kids can like do more pro work so they can help with the villains,
Yeah.
which kind of makes it seem like even like the citizens feel like there's a shortage on heroes.
Mhm.
And they were super impressed by Bakugo and Todoroki.
I
Yeah.
really
Yeah, they
liked,
have their.
Yeah.
I really like that stuff in this show. Like when it shows news clips, or like when the news is on in the background. Like I like stuff like that. Like I liked like during the Camino incident with All for One versus All Might. I loved the helicopter flying around and all the news crews on the ground. I love that stuff.
Yeah, it is cool.
Even though it's animated, they kind of gave it like a realistic.
I like the world building aspect that
Yeah.
the news broadcasts provide.
Yeah.
With that,
There we go, baby.
we may be back next week. We may be not. But when this show returns, you could definitely expect the 5 of us.
Oh, you'll see us.
And remember to go beyond plus ultra.
Ultra!